Good day, everyone. Today, we will be discussing how we quantify results from rubrics. Now, does anyone have any idea how? Okay, so rubrics are commonly used in assessing student performance, especially in tasks like presentations, essays, projects, and performances. However, after using a rubric, an important question arises. How do we convert these qualitative descriptions into measurable results? Okay, so in this presentation, we will explore how rubrics use scales and points to quantify student performance. Okay, so now, before we analyze or present results from rubrics, we must first understand basic statistical concepts. Now, in assessment, teachers often rely on descriptive and inferential statistics to interpret results. But first, what is descriptive and inferential statistics? Okay, so descriptive statistics summarize and organize the characteristic of a specific data sets or sample using measures such as the mean, median, and the graphs. On the other hand, inferential statistics use that sample data to make predictions, test hypotheses, and draw conclusions about a larger population. Now, these statistical tools help us summarize and analyze data gathered from the assessment tools such as the scales, checklist, and the rubrics. Now, by understanding these concepts, teachers can report students' performance more accurately and objectively. Now, let us talk about quantifying rubrics results. Now, in rubrics, students' performance is measured using the scales that represents different levels of proficiency. Each level is given a corresponding numerical value or point. For example, a student who is at the beginner level may receive 1 point, while a student who demonstrates very proficient performance may receive 4 points. Now, these points allow teachers to convert to convert qualitative judgments into quantitative scores. Now, rubrics can use different sets of descriptive terms depending on the teacher or the task being assessed. Excuse me. For instance, some rubrics use poor, fair, good, and excellent. Excellent. Others may use novice, intermediate, advanced, and superior. Even though the wording may differ, each level still represents a degree of performance. And each level corresponds to a numerical point value. Now, let us look at at an example of how points are assigned. A rubric might have 4 levels. Now, beginner, developing, proficient, and excellence. Each level corresponds to a number. So, when teachers assess students' work, they simply select the levels that best describes the student's performance, and the corresponding points are recorded. Now, these points can be added or averaged to produce the final scores. Another important aspect of rubric scoring is the reliability. Now, reliability means that the scoring is consistent and fair. For example, if two teachers evaluate the same student performance, their score should be similar or consistent. Now, to achieve this, teachers often use clear criteria and multiple raters when assessing performance. Now, when more than one person evaluates student work, we need to measure how much the raters agree with each other. Now, this agreement is very important because it ensures that the rubric scoring is reliable. Now, one statistical method used to measure agreement is among raters is called the Kendall's W coefficient of concordance. Now, this method helps determine whether the ratings given by different observers are consistent with one another. Now, and that concludes my part of the presentation on how we quantify results from rubrics. Now, for the next part of the topic, my partner will now discuss the remaining concepts and further explanations about the rubric scoring and interpretation. I hope you learned something today. Thank you. Bye.